Well, it's time to announce the boot camp winners for the best before and afters and the best overall swing. And I ran into a little problem. So you see, you guys submitted hundreds of before and afters and testimonial videos and all this stuff. And so I spent the last 2 weeks pouring through all these, and I realized that what was most important and most compelling to me was really the stories, the things that you guys had overcome, whether it had been, just struggling with your golf game in general and being frustrated with the game, like the story you're going to hear today, or being confused, or just overcoming injuries and things like that I can definitely relate to. And so I found all these stories as compelling as the actual swings, because really at the end of the day, for me, life is all about experiences. Everything I've done in my life, from my business career to all the sports and things I've done, has all been about creating memories from experiences. And that has been the most important thing, even with golf with me. The most memorable and valuable times that I can think of playing golf weren't tournaments that I won or money or any of that stuff. It was all about, actually, I can tell you exactly the best memories in golf I ever have were all in the same place. It was a club I was a member at in Idaho. And every single day after a round of golf, not every single day, but very frequently, I would go out in the evening after the course was completely dead. There was nobody on the course. It was just me, teeing off at like 7:30 at night when the sun's up till 9:30, 10 o'clock. And I would go and play and have the entire course all to myself and go down on this one particular hole that was a really challenging tee shot, par 5, that led down a big hill, and you could go for it in 2 if you really wanted to. But what I remember most is just about being out there and experiencing the outdoors, the smell of the grass, the bushes, seeing deer run across the fairways, and all of those things were more valuable to me than the best scores I've ever shot or anything like that. It was being outside and creating these experiences, whether it was by myself like that, or being out with a good close group of friends and just having a great time playing golf. And what I realized is that that's really what the dead drill and rotary swing are all about. It's not about having being the best instructor, which I appreciate all the flattery you guys have given me, but that was never my intention. In fact, right after I started the company, the first year I changed everything to be Rotary Swing. It wasn't Chuck Quinton Golf or the Quinton Method or any of that stuff. In fact, I hardly put my name on anything. It's always been Rotary Swing, because it was always about you. It was about your experiences. It was about taking the rotary swing, taking the simple way of understanding and learning the golf swing, and then you going out and creating those experiences and memories for yourself. And so as I went through all of these submissions, which thank you again so much, it's been so awesome going through all of these, I realized that I couldn't just pick 3 or 4 gifts and 3 or 4 winners like we had originally planned. I decided, since I own the company and I can do whatever the heck I want, I was going to give away as many prizes as I feel like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the rules. I am going to give away as many prizes as I possibly can, because so many of the stories that you guys shared were so cool. And that's what I want to share with you today. This is, I can't even say he's the most improved or the best swing overall, because there were so many, but it's one of my favorites, because here's a golfer who hasn't played very long, had a swing that had very typical flaws, casting the club across the line at the top, no power, you can see very weak slapping at the ball. And when you see his after swing, and you see how he coils and loads up, and how much lag and leverage he has, and how good his impact position is, and how good his movements are, that he changed in just 3 weeks going through the boot camp, it's amazing. But even as amazing as that is, I wanted to go through all of these stories, because so many of you had experiences like just going out and playing your best golf, shooting your best rounds. I mean, the stories have been amazing. In fact, I've actually had a couple people email me and say, hey man, all these testimonials, these quotes and stuff you're posting, they're BS, dude. There's no way that somebody can go out and play their best round. Well, I guess that's the best flattery, the best compliment I could possibly ever get, because they are legit. Why would I make these things up? And we have thousands of them, which has been so cool. So I'm going to share some of those with you and show you just straight from my email account. Hey, somebody sent this in. You guys are going to see it in your own videos, that people are having amazing results with the dead drill, but that's not really what it's all about. What it's really all about, and what the dead drill is all about, is getting you outside, enjoying the game, and having experiences, going out and playing, even if it's not the best round of golf, maybe it's the most memorable round of golf because you hit the ball great, or you hit shots that you never thought were possible, and you're just out there having a good time, experiencing nature, and that's really what it's all about. Now, keep in mind, I'm not just giving prizes away to anybody that submits a video. I am not a participation ribbon kind of guy at all. I have worked for and earned everything that I've ever gotten in life. I came from absolutely nothing and worked my ass off to get to where I am. And so you still got to put in the work. You got to do the time, and you will get the results like you're going to see in this series of upcoming videos, because I want to walk through everybody. I want to show you the changes that were made. I want to show you how to do it. I want to show you how you can recognize flaws and mistakes that you're making in your own swing so that you know how to fix them. So the first one I want to share today is, again, an amazing swing, amazing change, amazing transformation. And I will walk through it all step by step. I'm going to show you his swing, and then at the end I'm going to actually walk through the changes so I can kind of pinpoint things and draw your attention to things that you may not recognize. So without further ado, Nolan, this is really cool. Nolan doesn't even know he's won because I haven't told anybody this yet. He's going to find out on this video just like you are. Nolan, who happens to be another fellow Colorado boy. Nolan, I'm super proud of you, dude. Your swing looks amazing, and you, sir, are a winner. And I am going to give you one of our grand prizes, which is you come on down to our academy in Colorado, and I'm going to work with you for free for 3 hours. You can stay at our academy for free. We're going to have a great time. We're going to take you out on the track. We're going to just go out and have fun and create some memories and some experiences, because once you stop working on your golf swing and you stop chasing all these stupid random tips and you find one thing that works, and the dead drill is that, and it does work, and as you guys are going to see. And it's so simple that even in the middle of a round, you can completely glue your swing back together. I want to share with you a quick story about somebody who just did that, who literally playing a round of golf, going through, it gets, I think it was to the 7th hole, and swing starting to kind of fall apart a little bit, and he stops right there on the tee box, does a few reps of just the dead drill, and he makes a hole-in-one on a par 4. True story. Got the email to prove it. I'm going to show it to you in just a second. But that's the kind of stuff that, you know, it's experiences, it's memories, it's living, it's being outside, it's experiencing the real world and having fun doing it. And the dead drill can take all of your frustrations and time spent drilling and, you know, toiling in the dirt, trying to dig a swing out, trying to manufacture something. Why not do something simple that produces results like you're going to see in Nolan's swing?
All right, so I mentioned somebody who did exactly what the dead drill was designed to do. Straight from my email account, Supergeek. I got to hide his email address here so you guys don't email whoever, Supergeek, which is a nickname for Mike Breed, I guess. I don't know if this is the same Michael Breed from you know where, but who knows, maybe. So anyway, here is a perfect example of what the dead drill is really all about. Once you learn these simple fundamentals, you can fix your swing in the middle of a round. And that's exactly what Mike did. So here he is. He stops on the 7th tee. He did drill a few times. Just remind your body what the movements are. It gets you focused not on, you know, hazards and hitting a shot or a certain way. It gets you focused on the inside, just remembering how to move correctly. And if you move correctly, the ball and the club will do what you want them to. So then he tees off and he drives, not only drives the green, it's a short hole, 258 yards, but he freaking dunks it. That is awesome. That is what the dead drill is really all about. In the middle of a round, you learn this dead drill. Once you learn this is the last thing you ever do for the rest of your life, and then in the middle of a round, you can instantly correct your swing. You may not even be thinking about anything. You may be hitting the ball great, and then the wheels start to wobble a little bit, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, how do I get back on? Dead drill, right there on the tee box, boom, instantly remind your body exactly how to move correctly, and here's the results. That is what the dead drill is all about.
Hey, what's up, Chuck? This is Nolan from Parker, Colorado. I started playing golf fairly seriously about 2 years ago, and I've seen a few other golf instructors, and it's getting frustrated spending the money and not seeing much improvement. A lot of what I was being taught was just kind of a Band-Aid fix. And so, I've been watching a lot of different YouTube videos on the golf swing, and it was just getting more and more frustrating. Every time I went out and played golf, I had a different swing because I was watching so many different videos, and everything was just so inconsistent. And so I kind of stumbled across one of your videos one day and went to the course and hit a few balls and noticed that I was really striking the ball quite well. So decided to look a little bit more into RST and decided to sign up for it, and signed up for it last winter or so now, and really liked the kind of stepwise approach to the golf swing, kind of building upon each different step. And so I ended up having a baby boy in February, and then early spring was doing some home improvement projects, and was helping a neighbor do some home improvement projects, and ended up hurting my back. So between having my son and having the back injury, I haven't been able to play golf a whole lot. But fortunately with RST, I was able to just kind of focus on drills and while rehabbing my back and, staying home with my son. And I've just noticed an overall improvement in consistency with my golf swing, especially when you brought out the dead drill. That's when I really started to notice an improvement and more consistency, just kind of working through the drill day by day. And it was a lot easier because it's simplified everything. There wasn't so many minute details. It was really kind of focused on three major things, and so hopefully by seeing this video, you'll be able to see the progress that I've made since the dead drill came out. So hope you enjoy. Thanks.
All right, so I want to show you his before and after. I want to walk you through it now. So the before is going to be on the left, after on the right. So as we start going back, you're going to see a lot of common tendencies that most golfers make during the takeaway, which is the first one is rolling that face wide open. You see that here? See how the face is way open already? Close enough there. And this is just really common, letting the right wrist start to hinge early and letting the forearms roll over a little bit. So now we start getting the club deep and underneath the plane. And then as we keep going to the top, you'll notice that his head pops up quite a bit. I'll draw a quick line here so you can reference that. So as he keeps going back, he's going to start standing up. I mean, look at that. That's like 3 or 4 inches. That's a big change in the backswing that then you have to try and make up for in the downswing. And of course, now he's getting quite a bit across the line. And now we got to reroute the club from there. And then the first thing you're going to notice as he starts down is that the club starts moving pretty early and starting to cast the club and get really steep. Shoulders turning a little bit, arms firing. And then as he comes down, his lower body's not really going to be able to do much. And so as he gets into impact, it's hard to tell if he's at impact or at address. His hips are basically square, shoulders are square, everything looks like almost about where he started. And this is a really common way to cost yourself a ton of power, not by not moving your body correctly, and then to release the club because he didn't have any lag coming down, which you'll see coming up. He's got to kind of turn his shoulders through the hitting area to try and get any oomph in it. So instead of letting the club release properly, he just kind of keeps turning and turning. See, his chest is already 45 degrees open or so, and then kind of stands up into this follow through. Now, from the after, we're going to see quite a lot of changes here. So we'll start back. First, notice how now the club goes back on plane and is actually, the camera angle is a little bit off, so it's like the club's in line with his hands are actually almost slightly outside. So now we don't have that compensation to try and deal with. Perfectly on plane going back. Head stays down a lot better, no longer across the line. And now as he comes down, tons of lag coming down, which you'll see better from face on plane, no longer steep, and is turning his body, getting posted up. Great impact position, and more importantly, a great release. Notice this right here. This is the money maker, the stuff that you've seen me talk about, the 9-to-3 drill so much on the site. This is what it's all about. Notice from here, where the club's moving, it's going to move 6 feet at least, and how little his body moves. Look at how little stress. Just focus, if nothing else, focus on his spine. Watch how little his spine moves at this point when the club is putting a tremendous amount of load and stress on the body. All he's doing is letting the club release. And when you see this from face on, this is beautiful. Notice how his chest isn't rotating through the shot now, totally protecting his body, letting the club, more importantly, speed up, get a ton of speed, still staying down and coming into a beautiful release. So now let's look at the face-on stuff. And this is really revealing, and this is stuff that's really easy for you guys to check in your own swings. So as he starts going back, we're going to notice a lot of head movement again. And I want to really emphasize this. This is one of the big things that we did in the first day of boot camp, and we really spent a lot of time. I kept talking about it over and over and over again during all of the boot camp sessions, is this wall drill that we do. You can see how much his head's moving off the ball and then up. That's a big loop. He basically went like this with his head. So now we've got to recover from all of that. And then as he starts down, you'll see the club start to widen right away, starting to widen the angle. Shoulders are already open. Club's already casted. No bueno. And now by the time he gets down near the hitting area, one of the main checkpoints in the boot camp stuff when we do the post-up move, you guys should know by now where those hands should be and the club should be. You can see he's not in that position here. And now he's got nothing but basically a broom to drag through the hitting area because there's no leverage left in his arms whatsoever, nothing left on his wrists. And that's why you saw his shoulders and chest keep rotating through the hitting area, because otherwise he has nothing else to move the club. And that is a very weak way to hit the ball. Now, let's see some awesomeness. Let me go back over here. All right, so first things first, obviously the head movement's going to be very different. If anything, he actually loaded up and went down, which we don't need to do quite this much, but it's way better than going up and off the ball. So as he rotates back, he's coiled up. Look at this turn. And look at the width that he's created with his arms and his body at the top. This is just about as good as any tour pro. There's a couple little things that I would correct here, which I will do. I'll video his lesson when he comes down here to collect his prize, to come down to the academy and work on his swing with me. We're going to tweak this left knee a little bit and this right arm a little bit, which those of you who went to the boot camp will know exactly why that is. And then let's watch him start to come down. Now look at this. One other thing I want to tackle in the downswing stuff is shoulders are opening a little bit early. I'll show you that stuff when we actually do the lesson. But notice now, as his hands get down, left arm is about the same position, how much more leverage he has now, how much more his lower body is working versus here. His lower body's just sitting here chilling out, doing nothing. Now he looks like a golfer. He looks like he's got something to hit with, and you're going to see as we get down into the post-up move, which we spent the whole third day on in the live sessions, look at this. Look at the difference in the positions where he was before and where he is now. Let me go back over here. Now notice how he's casting the club, and here the club is still way up here and his hands are actually further ahead. He's actually got them more in front of his thigh and he has more lag. Here his hands have still got 6 inches to go. There's no leverage left here. On the right, tons of leverage. And then what's really, really cool is that you're going to see just how much this pays off as we get down into impact. Look at the impact, because just before impact, his hands are right over the ball. His club is still way back here. And now, as we get an impact, look at that flat left wrist. Versus where we were over here when he first started out, just right before the boot camp. See, his left wrist is already starting to kind of break down a little bit, get into a little baby scoop here. But now notice the difference in his left arm versus over here. Here he has shaft lean, here he has none. And that will completely change the way the ball comes off the face, the distance that you create, the compression that you create, the penetrating ball flight, lowering the spin rate. All of those things is all created by just learning how to move his body correctly. Now I want to talk about the release here, because I want you to again focus on the stuff that we talked about in the boot camp, keeping that body chilled out and posted up. That left leg's like a big old oak tree, and all you're doing at this point is letting the club release. Watch how quiet his head is. Watch how quiet his body is. Watch how quiet his chest is. His body is completely relaxed, but the club is now moving with great speed and releasing properly, and then it pulls him to a nice, full, relaxed follow through. So Nolan, awesome job. Exactly what we were looking for. Incredible results in just a 3-week boot camp period. You did a great job, and I'm looking forward to seeing you down here in our academy in Ridgeway.